Listen closely. Many people speak about manifestation as a ritual of asking the universe, repeating phrases, or waiting for signs. This belief spreads quickly, yet it misses the core truth. Desire alone carries noise. Repetition without inner change carries emptiness. Over years inside Shaolin tradition, I learned a quieter law at work, one rarely explained even among seekers. I am Shi Heng Yi, and today I share a deeper view. Manifestation is not born from wanting more. It rises from alignment. Life responds to the state of the inner world, not to spoken wishes. Events, opportunities, and challenges move toward a person shaped by discipline, clarity, and restraint. The outer world mirrors the inner condition. In the Shaolin path, monks never chase outcomes. Training shapes posture, breath, attention, and conduct. Slowly, reality adjusts around this stability. Ancient records speak of masters gaining influence without speech, respect without demand, and success without announcement. These moments were not miracles, they were consequences of inner order. Throughout this video, I will guide you through a principle often guarded in silence. You will learn why words spoken aloud weaken intention, why secrecy strengthens focus, and why two simple internal words can direct an entire life when held with discipline. This lesson does not promise instant reward. It reveals a method tested through centuries of practice. Stay with me until the end, because the final insight explains why patience unlocks power and why those who rush remain stuck. This understanding can quietly reshape direction, effort, and results. Welcome to Shaolin Divine Flow, a place for ancient wisdom and modern mastery. Subscribe to this channel and continue this path of stillness, strength, and clarity with us. In Shaolin teachings, strength is not announced, it is contained. Loud force fades quickly while quiet power endures. This is why the most disciplined warriors walk unnoticed, and the deepest minds speak the least. Silence is not absence. Silence is control. When intention is spoken too early, it escapes before it matures. Words invite reaction, judgment, and interference. Each response from the outside pulls energy away from its original direction. What is shared too soon becomes diluted. In the monastery, students learn this lesson not through instruction but through observation. Those who talk about progress remain where they are. Those who train quietly move forward. Ancient masters carried inner vows that were never spoken aloud. These vows were repeated only in the heart, reinforced through daily discipline. Silence protected them. It allowed intention to sink deeper, like roots growing unseen beneath the soil. A tree does not announce its growth. It grows strong in darkness before it reaches light. There are stories of monks who practiced for years without revealing their aim. When questioned, they smiled and returned to training. Their power was not hidden out of fear, but preserved through wisdom. Speaking satisfies the ego. Silence strengthens the will. In modern life, silence feels uncomfortable. There is pressure to explain, to share, to prove. Yet Shaolin discipline teaches restraint. The more focused the goal, the less it needs expression. Attention turns inward. Energy consolidates. Action becomes precise. Quiet power changes posture, breath, and presence. Others feel it without explanation. Respect arises without request. Progress happens without announcement. This is not mystery. It is the natural result of guarded intention and disciplined action. True power does not demand recognition. It grows patiently, invisible at first, until one day it no longer needs to be named. There is a subtle moment when a vow is made, and the world does not hear it. The two words are not spells, chants, or empty sounds. They are the silent agreement between mind and action, a commitment held deep within. In Shaolin practice, such words are not measured by volume, but by the weight they carry in the heart. They mark a turning point, where intention becomes anchored in the self, and the outer world begins to bend quietly to that alignment. These words are spoken only inwardly. Once acknowledged in the mind, they are never voiced aloud. To speak them breaks their potency. Words released too early invite doubt, interference, or expectation. Silence preserves their strength, allowing them to root and grow like a seed beneath the soil, invisible but unstoppable. Every action afterward becomes a reflection of that commitment. Movements in training, choices in thought, moments of patience or restraint, they all echo the silent oath. It is less about forcing results and more about becoming the person capable of them. In this way, the two words are not magic, they are transformation. Ancient texts and monastic records describe masters who swore personal vows, repeating them only in meditation or during solitary practice. Their accomplishments were never boasted. Others recognized the results but could not trace the invisible force that guided them. The power was quiet, consistent, and deeply personal. This internal pact shapes perception and behavior. It teaches that mastery begins not in outward display, but in disciplined containment. The mind learns to act with clarity, focus, and patience. Action follows naturally from intention. Life responds not because of words spoken, but because the self has been aligned with its truth. The two words, held silently, are the quiet architects of destiny. They ask nothing from the world and demand everything from the self. There is a quiet difference between wanting and intending, and it changes everything. Craving is loud. It pulls at the mind with tension and urgency. It latches onto imagined results, twisting each moment into a measure of success or failure. The heart races, and decisions are clouded by hope, fear, or impatience. Craving demands, insists, and suffers when it does not receive. In Shaolin practice, this is seen as an obstacle, a disturbance in the natural flow of energy. Intention, by contrast, is calm. It does not shout or grasp. It points the mind and body toward a direction like a compass settling quietly in still water. Intention shapes action without needing immediate reward. It guides effort with clarity, precision, and patience. The practitioner does not cling to outcomes, but ensures that each movement, each choice, and each thought is aligned with purpose. In ancient texts, monks are described repeating the same movements thousands of times without expectation. Each motion is not a step toward fame or recognition, but a step toward mastery itself. This is intention in action. The results are inevitable, yet never forced. The body and mind learn to act from alignment, not emotion. Attachment to outcomes creates turbulence. It disturbs judgment and drains energy. By releasing attachment, the practitioner allows life to unfold naturally. What comes is a reflection of discipline, clarity, and persistent effort. The universe responds to alignment, not to craving. Every moment becomes a choice to act from desire, which binds, or from intention, which frees. Calm intention is the foundation of true mastery. It teaches that power is quiet, movement is deliberate, and results are a byproduct of inner harmony. In this practice, life itself becomes a mirror, showing the subtle but undeniable strength of a mind at peace with purpose. The mind often drifts toward tomorrow, chasing visions of what could be. Yet manifestation does not begin in the future. It begins here, in the quiet clarity of the present moment. Awareness is the engine that drives all change. Without it, effort scatters, intentions fade, and results remain uncertain. In Shaolin practice, monks cultivate mindfulness with every breath, every stance, every movement. Each gesture is observed, controlled, and perfected. The body becomes an extension of attention, the mind a lens that focuses energy without distraction. This is not meditation alone, it is active presence, where every act carries intention and clarity. When attention is stable, actions become precise. The hand moves exactly where it should, the step lands exactly where it is needed, and thought flows in harmony with purpose. Precision is born not from force, but from observation. By noticing subtle shifts in the body, the mind, and the environment, the practitioner responds with timing and accuracy. Precise actions create predictable outcomes. The universe reflects alignment, not wishful thinking. Each deliberate step, no matter how small, compounds over time, shaping circumstances and guiding opportunities. Manifestation, then, is not an abstract hope, but a measurable result of focused attention. Ancient masters understood this deeply. Legends speak of monks who could balance on narrow beams for hours, or move silently through forests, guided entirely by present awareness. Their mastery was invisible, yet undeniable. It was cultivated in stillness and repetition, not in frantic desire. To manifest effectively, one must return constantly to now. Observe the body, the breath, the mind. Let actions be deliberate. Let attention be unwavering. The present becomes the forge where intentions are tempered into reality. Through mindfulness, the invisible structure of life becomes clear, and what was once imagined begins to take shape with quiet certainty. There is a subtle power in keeping the mind's work hidden. Speaking intentions too soon allows the world to interfere. Opinions, doubt, or distraction enter and weaken the clarity of purpose. Every word carries energy, and once released, it is no longer fully under control. In Shaolin discipline, progress is kept private. The path is walked quietly, unseen by others, until mastery emerges naturally. Silence is a shield. It preserves focus and strengthens resolve. Just as a seed buried in soil grows without the wind disturbing it, intentions develop in the unseen. Exposure invites comparison, and comparison shifts attention from effort to recognition. When the mind seeks approval or validation, energy is scattered, and the purity of action diminishes. Ancient masters rarely spoke of their goals. Their achievements were visible, but their methods remained invisible. They understood that strength grows in the hidden layers of practice, in repeated effort that no one observes, and in patience that no one tests. Like roots of a tree deep beneath the earth, the true work accumulates quietly, drawing nourishment from discipline, repetition, and inner focus. This is why secrecy is not secrecy for its own sake. It is protection for what matters most, the alignment of mind, body, and spirit. Every step taken in private reinforces intention. Every challenge met in silence shapes resilience. By keeping the inner work unspoken, the practitioner ensures that energy is devoted entirely to mastery rather than to external acknowledgement. What grows underground eventually rises above ground, strong and unshakable. The world sees the results, the form, the strength, but the struggle, the discipline, and the intent remain hidden. In this hidden work lies the essence of true power, quiet, deliberate, and unwavering. Discipline speaks louder than desire ever could. The universe does not respond to pleas, promises, or declarations. It responds to patterns, to repetition, to consistency. Every small action, performed with care and attention, becomes a word in an invisible language that shapes reality. This is the quiet truth the Shaolin masters understood long ago. Life observes behavior, not words. Daily effort is a conversation with reality. Rising before the sun, practicing movement, refining the mind, each deliberate act communicates intent. It is not the display of effort that matters, but the steady, silent persistence behind it. A master's path is built brick by brick, repetition by repetition, often unnoticed by anyone else. Yet these small, disciplined acts ripple outward, creating alignment between the self and the world. Consistency forms trust with life itself. When attention is unwavering, the mind learns clarity, the body learns precision, and the spirit learns patience. Each repetition deepens skill, sharpens perception, and strengthens resolve. The universe does not reward words. It mirrors action. It does not promise outcomes. It reflects alignment. Ancient stories tell of monks whose influence and skill seemed sudden to outsiders. In truth, every achievement was the result of countless invisible hours, practices done in solitude, in silence, without recognition. Their mastery was a dialogue between dedication and reality, one repeated act at a time. Discipline is not punishment. It is a bridge. It connects thought with action, intention with result, potential with manifestation. Each day becomes a message sent into the fabric of life, steady, clear, and unyielding. Through this invisible language, the universe responds not to what is spoken, but to what is lived, moment by moment, with unwavering focus and care. True change begins within, long before it appears outside. Shaolin wisdom teaches that transformation matters more than attraction. The world responds to who you are, not what you desire. When identity shifts, outcomes follow naturally, without effort or pleading. The master does not ask the universe for success. The master becomes the person capable of creating it. This process begins quietly, in small choices repeated daily. Discipline, focus, and self-awareness gradually reshape character. Habits align with purpose, thoughts align with action, and the mind aligns with the body. Over time, a new version of self emerges, one that acts from strength, not from need. When the inner self is aligned, results are no longer chased. Actions carry their own momentum. A monk practicing the same movements for years does not perform them to be noticed. Each motion is purposeful. Each repetition refines skill. Eventually, mastery appears effortless. What was once sought outside is now reflected naturally in life. Stories of Shaolin masters often describe feats that seem sudden to observers. Yet every display of skill or insight is rooted in years of unseen transformation. The person they became was always present, even if the world had not yet recognized it. They did not demand outcomes, they simply became capable of them. This principle applies beyond the monastery. When identity is cultivated with patience and integrity, the external world aligns with the inner. Effort is guided by clarity, not longing. Actions carry certainty. Results arrive quietly as a mirror of the internal state. The path to true manifestation is not asking more. It is becoming more. The person who no longer needs to ask moves with calm confidence, letting life respond to the depth of their presence rather than the volume of their desire. Time cannot be rushed, yet it is never still. Forcing moments before their readiness only creates friction. Energy resists, outcomes falter, and the mind grows restless. In Shaolin practice, patience is not passive waiting, it is preparation, it is awareness. It is aligning every thought, movement, and intention so that when the moment is right, action flows naturally and effortlessly. Masters move not because they feel ready, but because the conditions are complete. They watch, they listen, they observe the world and themselves. Emotions, desire, or impatience are never guides. Only clarity and preparedness determine the moment of action. Ancient texts describe monks waiting days, months, or even years, refining skill, deepening understanding, and strengthening the body. They did not delay out of hesitation. They prepared with purpose. Active preparation transforms waiting into power. Every breath, every stance, every repetition becomes part of readiness. The mind grows calm, steady, and unshakable. The body grows strong and precise. The spirit learns to flow with timing rather than against it. What appears sudden to observers is actually the result of countless unseen steps executed patiently and with intention. To release control over timing is to trust in alignment. Forcing is a sign of attachment to outcome. Patience is discipline in motion, an ongoing conversation between readiness and opportunity. The universe does not yield to desire, it responds to preparation. The one who masters timing no longer struggles with frustration. Each step is measured, each effort guided, each decision synchronized with readiness. In letting go of urgency, the practitioner discovers that what is meant to unfold will always do so, naturally, inevitably, and with a grace born from patience and discipline. True manifestation is not something announced, it is something embodied. The power lies not in words, but in the quiet commitment held within, strengthened through discipline, clarity, and patience. When intention becomes who you are, results follow naturally, without force or demand. Carry this understanding into each day. Let your actions reflect your inner vows. Move with focus, act with patience, and guard your energy. Small, consistent steps, taken in silence, shape your path far more than any spoken desire. By mastering yourself first, the world around you aligns effortlessly with your presence. Remember, real power grows quietly beneath the surface until it emerges naturally. Honor your intentions in silence, trust your discipline, and let life respond in its own perfect timing. If this lesson resonates, join our journey of inner mastery and ancient wisdom. Like this video, subscribe to Shaolin Divine Flow, and continue walking the path of calm strength, mindful action, and quiet transformation.